We Are the Champions from News of the World, which is really one of their better albums. We Are the Champions. Just, I don't know. It's the cockiest song I've ever heard, and I really love it.
Oh my God! No time for losers, because we are the champions of the world. Like, that is the greatest line ever. And it's like, oh, let me check my schedule. Yeah, no time for losers. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're the champions of the world. I don't got any time for you. Sorry. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Donut Bag, part of the Pulse Podcast Network and the PodHub Network. In this episode, we debut a segment showcasing the best of Pittsburgh with Amanda Narcisi of Bold Pittsburgh. Then I discuss our favorite Queen songs with Kyle Senra and Brad Reyes. Then I review Week 10 in the NFL with Mark Hagelauer, and we predict the baseball award winners with Johnnie Black and Bruce Cagle Jr. of the Scorecrow. As always, if you are listening, please follow or subscribe to the podcast because it helps a lot. The Donut Bag starts right now. Okay, now for a new segment where we talk about the best of Pittsburgh. And with me is Amanda Narcisi. I'm saying your last name right?
Yes, it was actually
right. Yes. She is the owner of Bold Pittsburgh, which is a blog about the bold look at life in the Burgh. Amanda, welcome. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for being on. So today we want to talk about best burger places in Pittsburgh. So what do you have as your best?
Well, I picked 5 of my best, and of course, like, there are no fast food restaurants in here, so everybody said I should joke and throw in like McDonald's or something, but I felt like that was really wrong. So my favorite one to start off is Provision in Federal Galley. So if you know the Smallman Galley Group, or the Galley Group, they own Smallman Galley, Federal Galley, and then they just opened one outside of Cleveland. And then they just announced they'll be opening one in Chicago. They actually have like an incubator of restaurants that open up, and one of them is Provision in Federal Galley, which is on Federal Street in the North Side. They have these amazing burgers that include a burger of the day, which is really, really awesome. It has roast green chili, bacon relish, aioli, green Swiss, and pickled jalapenos on it. But what I like the best about Provision is they can make any of their burgers into a Impossible Burger, which is like a plant-based meat burger, which is really, really good. It actually tastes like ground beef, but it's not. It's for anybody who's vegetarian, so it's very good. But they're number 1. They're like one of my top 5, so they're really good.
Okay, so I know of the one, I believe, in the Strip District, where it's basically an incubator of like up and coming restaurants or people that want to start their own restaurant. But how does that whole concept work?
So from what I understand, when they started Smallman Galley, you could apply, and it's still the same concept. You have to apply. It's a rigorous thing where you actually have to like interview, and you have to have a business plan, and you have to prepare like a few dishes for the judges. And then if you are chosen, you get a space in the restaurant for a year. And some of the newer ones, they have been able to extend the leases into a second year. But the hopes of it is that after that first year, you have enough startup capital and enough reputation that you can then open a brick and mortar of your restaurant. So
somebody has an idea and they basically provide the space, the equipment, the location, and do with it what you want, and then good luck. We'll see how it goes after a year. Is that the concept?
Pretty much, yeah. And then there's a bar in each one of them that have their own cocktail menu and everything. So that's pretty popular in itself. So that draws a crowd, and then people just stay for the food. But it allows these chefs to basically, like I said, just get the startup going and the word of mouth going that their brick and mortar becomes successful when they decide to open it.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great, it's the hardest thing. I used to run a restaurant. The hardest thing is getting a place, getting all the equipment. It just costs so much. And if they could that's a great idea. If somebody just has a great concept, that they could just get it going. So very cool concept. Okay.
So after that, I actually have a brewery as one of my favorite burgers, which is shocking because most breweries, you think like, oh, you go for the beer and everything. But Mindful Brewing in Castle Shannon has a burger called the Caramel Apple Burger. And it's exactly what it is. It's a burger which they use sustainable local ground beef, and they top it off with sliced apple, and caramel drizzle, as well as greens, and on a brioche bun.
That is amazing.
Yes, so it's got sweet and tangy and very filling, and the burger meat in itself has got a sweet tang to it also, so it's really good. Not typically what you expect from brewery food or like bar food, so it's a little bit of a step above that. It's really, really good.
Yeah, you're right. When you think they're all just about, the beer and stuff, that they're like they'll have food, but it's secondary. So that's really cool that they would have such an interesting burger.
Yeah, it's definitely amazing. It's one of the ones I always order whenever I go there. The next one I have is actually a hidden discovery. So, it's outside of Pittsburgh. It is just to the south near Trax Farm. If you're familiar with that area at all.
Yeah.
So if you go a little bit past Trax Farm, you'll hit this weird like red light that's like a Y intersection, and that's actually like Banksville Road. But you have to take and you take it all the way back, like West Mifflin area. But there's a strip mall in there, and there is a restaurant called V&V Scratch Kitchen. And you cannot tell that it's a restaurant, except for there's a gigantic smoker sitting in the parking lot. And they actually have an amazing burger because they smoke the ground beef. So before it hits the grill, it is smoked in the smoker along with their wings, and their every food that they prepare is smoked. But I've never had like smoked ground beef before, but it was absolutely amazing.
Is this in Finleyville?
It is in Finleyville.
Oh, wow.
So it is exactly, yes. So it's hard to explain like where it is, because you're like, where am I? Like literally I was on this twisty, windy road, but my friend like raved about it. And ever since then, I have not stopped talking about the food. And when I say it's a hidden secret, it really is, because when we sat down, the restaurant was like 3 or 4 tables full. By the time we left, the line was from the register, because you order the food and then they bring it to your table. the line was from like the register outside, like down the sidewalk.
Wow.
To like order, and all the tables were full. So it was like really intense. It was like this amazing thing. Like the size is really too small for what they're doing. The chef is from Chicago. And it's husband and wife owned. Like really, really amazing. Really, really good food.
And they look like they have a lot of things.
Yeah, so I got to try the wings also, garlic parm wings down there, and they were absolutely insane. They were just really good. And yeah, everything from lobster bisque to like, they change their specials all the time. So literally their chalkboard is never the same, but their Facebook page updates every day with what they change on the menu.
Wow.
Yeah. So the other one is a little bit closer. It is on Mount Washington, and it is Coughlin's Law. So have you ever seen the movie Cocktail?
Yeah.
So Coughlin's Law was very quoted in there a lot of the times. It was, he had his own list of roles and everything. So Coughlin's Law is a bar and restaurant up on Mount Washington, and they basically make their whole menu off of Coughlin's Law. So as you open the menu, like there's all of his laws from the movie, like written down on the menu. It's pretty amazing. A lot of the food is based off the movie. Like they have like one of the cocktail drinks is called Not Nearly a Red Eye. So it's got like a whole lot of running joke about it, but they have these amazing cheeseburgers. And what makes them really amazing is they put them in a smoking bell. So, and it's typical more in whiskey bars, but what they do is they put this specialized like bell glass thing over your whiskey drink, and they pump smoke into it so that it smokes the whiskey.
Whoa.
And it makes the taste like a little bit different. So what they do is they actually do that to their cheeseburger. And it is actually like the coolest thing we've ever seen. I actually had it up on my Instagram for a while, a video of it, where they were actually like when they took the bell off of the cheeseburgers and just the smoke came out. And then there was like this perfect like cheeseburger sitting there. So that was really cool to have it like kind of right in front of you. It was like a show more than it was anything else, but it changed the taste of the cheeseburger completely.
Oh, bet.
Yeah, and they also did this thing up there too, which if you check out their menu, there's a thing called a buzz button. A buzz button is popular out in the West. It looks like a seed pocket. But what it is you can purchase one during your dinner there. It actually comes with one of the cocktails. But it gives your taste buds a heightened sense of taste. So when you first eat it, your whole mouth goes numb for about a minute. And then as you start to eat, your mouth becomes less numb, but the only thing you can like taste is the food, and it brings out every nuance of the food.
Wow.
So it was pretty intense. Like when he first gave it to me, I was like, are you kidding me? Like what are you giving me? I'm like, what's in, because literally it looked like a green seed pocket, like, and he gave it to me in a shot glass, and I was like, what this is?
What are you giving me?
I'm like, can you explain this a little? And he was like, oh, it's a buzz button. And actually, if you Google like buzz button, it is super popular in the desert area and like with Mexican food and stuff like that, because it's just it brings out the spiciness and the tanginess of food. But literally it's the weirdest thing because your whole mouth goes numb. It's as if you ate like the hottest pepper in the world, but you're not like burning, it's just numb. But then like as soon as you eat, the numbness wears down and just all this taste come out, and it's amazing. So that really heightened everything I ate while I was there. So something I'd never heard of before, but I thought it was really